Now you can see President Trump.
All right, check. Check one. What's happening? All right, let's see. There we go. Crowd is starting to gather. There we go. Now I see my chat room.
I came to this in.
All right, let's go. Let's get started. I think we're ready. Oh, hi. Welcome to the show, everybody. The fade works. That's great. And also, can we get straight to you guys? There you are. Hi, welcome to the show. I think this is, I have a bit of a, there's a little line, which I fixed. There you go. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Hal Sparks, Megaworldwide, the greatest live stream in the history of live streams. I'm Hal Sparks, your host, with about an hour extra sleep than I had last night, which makes it a total of 2 hours of sleep. So, Phil doesn't get to be the only person who was loopy on the show today. Hello, Australia. How are you? So it's more like a Star Trek movie? Well, thank you. I'll take that as a compliment. Good to see you. Hello. Sleep is good. It's the enemy, but it's necessary. It's so that your sleep is necessary so that your spinal fluid can basically wash up over your brain, clear out all the toxins, and you kind of like do a general chemical and biological cleaning of your brain, and then release the waste through your spinal fluid into your system so that it can be processed through your liver and your kidneys and excrete it. And dreams are largely that wash of your spinal fluid over your brain and back, in theory. And I didn't have enough of it to dream, so I've got a dirty mind right now. Yes, my brain has not been sufficiently washed, which is maybe why I'm not buying the line of horseshit from Trump that we've seen this morning. Boy, it's just gotten more and more glorious. Now, let me start off with something on a little, let's just say on the serious side of this, because, and I'm not going to play this on my channel. I will allow you guys to watch it if you wish, because it's very heavy, it's very dark, and I think it should be consumed, if at all, privately. I'm putting the link in there. This is the video part of it, is not the whole thing. But the link I just put in the chat is for the video affidavit of Katie Johnson. Now, Katie Johnson is the girl, now a woman, but the girl at the time that Donald Trump allegedly raped multiple times. He raped her, and then he sexually assaulted her at other points. And he fixated on her because she wore a blonde wig at the events that Epstein put together. And this is what the video looks like. She is in a hotel room giving her statement in this undisclosed location or wherever they are. She is blurred out through the whole thing, but she gives a it is incomplete in that it is, I think, it's only about 15 minutes of it, of about an hour. but there are snippets of it that are very revealing, not surprising at all, knowing Donald Trump. And this is about her being recruited by a girl named Tiffany, ironically enough, to be one of Epstein's girls when she was 13, then 14 years old, and allegedly having various forms of sex over time, leading to, in this tape, they don't go further into where she allegedly had, where he allegedly raped her, where he had a rape fantasy. She talks about how he had a rape fantasy with her and another girl, a Hispanic girl that he was very rough with, while he was saying if she didn't perform better, he would call immigration on her. This is years ago. This is probably a decade old, at least. Maybe, well, no, it's probably be around, well, yeah, it's about a decade old. It's about 2015, 2016, when he was starting to run for president. Again, I'm not going to air it on my channel because I feel like there are certain things that you shouldn't just display. If you have any interest in seeing what it's about, and seeing her point of view and that kind of stuff, and you think you can handle it, then you watch it on your own. But if not, just know that it's rough stuff and it's disgusting, and it's very telling about it sounds very much like Trump. Now, that's all I can say. Again, this is an alleged situation. These he was never tried and convicted for these things, so you have to say alleged. But it's, considering where he's going with the Epstein stuff right now, this makes total sense to me. It is easy. I don't know why the existence of this, which has been around for a long time, and the leap to why Trump won't show, the Epstein files, why the maggot base cannot make the connection. And maybe they slowly are, right? Because we know there's been a meltdown across a bunch of fronts. So again, I put the link in the chat. I'll put it in again. So that chat room, that is the link for this video. There may be more of it out there, but I have not seen it. This is the most of it I have seen anywhere. It's particularly important when you're dealing with knowing that's out there, knowing that those accusations are there, and considering how Trump talked about his victims, even the adult women. And by the way, Katie Johnson is allegedly the girl where he raped her without a condom, and then he threw money at her and said, "Get a fucking abortion." That's in the law. That's in the case that was eventually dropped because one of the other girls went to hiding. I believe the girl whose name went by Katie Johnson, that's not her real name, also went into hiding because Trump became president and they feared for their lives. And again, so that you have to take that with a grain of salt. You have to understand that that's a thing. But all of that under how, if that occurred and Trump was like, release the files, there would be reason to believe that was false and he is releasing things. Or if you're a little more cynical about this, and rightly so, that he had found a way to remove that stuff for any of his culpability, and then he releases all the other stuff. So because he's in charge, he can selectively release whatever he wants. But the fact that he is wholesale denying that it's a thing, calling it a hoax, all this kind of bullshit, just makes it sound all the more real. Like, in the context of how Trump is acting about this, the rest of this makes way more sense. Now, this is Balloonhead Charlie Kirk has said that he is done talking about it. And then Trump put out that weird statement about how it's the deep state created it and Comey wrote this stuff up and whatever, and it's a hoax, and naming it a hoax. And let's see, is this the one? Yeah. Yeah, this is Charlie Kirk. I don't know that it has a list on here. Yeah, 3 hours ago this was posted. Charlie Kirk has an important message for the president on the Epstein case. Well, let's listen to that first, and then we'll see what he came to later. Now, sorry, there are ads on this stuff.
Before bed balance blood sugar levels.
No, it cannot.
And reverse type 2 diabetes.
No.
Pink salt cold water recipe works, and it's been helping melt.
All you got to do is sit in it.
So
yeah,
I didn't know.
I understand.
Don't get too fired up about the Truth Social and President Trump ranting and venting about this. And let me.
Why? Fuck are you talking about? He's president of the United States. This is Charlie Kirk's solution. Don't listen to what he says about the most high-profile pedophile in U.S. history.
I'll tell you why.
I'll tell you what.
It's that President Donald Trump went through an entire first term. He went through an entire term where...
Oh, you mean the term where Epstein was arrested, all of his properties were raided, they found a bunch of shit, but somehow that stuff isn't anywhere to be found, and then the dude died in a jail cell, and then they showed footage of it, and it's like around the corner and down the hallway, and you totally could have walked in, gone up the stairs, strangled the dude, came back down at any point during a 6-hour period, and there's a minute missing, and it's been edited in Premiere? You mean that first term?
People were constantly turning on him for fake stuff.
Or he successfully buried the truth because he was president of the United States. Remember when you guys used to think that the government lied all the time and could control every piece of data, that it was basically a giant lie machine, and then Trump got in and suddenly all that changed, and now he's lying while he's teabagging your fucking five-head, and you still can't process that reality at all. You still can't come to your senses.
Constantly turning on him. And so he says, wait a second, he basically thinking, he knew Jeffrey Epstein, he got in a big fight with Jeffrey Epstein.
No, he didn't. And oh, by the way, what did he get in the fight with Jeffrey Epstein about, asshole? Was it about some girl at Mar-a-Lago and blah, blah? No, it wasn't. Actually, there's over 3 minutes missing. Oh, this just gets better. Does somebody throw a link about that to Andrea in the chat room? I haven't seen that update. I've been either driving, singing, or in a coma during the time when... And by the way, since there's a minute missing, there could be a whole fucking day. I got news for you. The last hour or whatever that shit, or the last few frames of that stuff, could be from a different day entirely. Same time, different day. Right? The whole end of it could be replaced. The whole last hour could be replaced. Okay.
He kicked him out of his club. He's mistrustful of all of these.
Oh, no. No. Lie. Stop it. Lie. Bullshit. Trump did not kick him out over a girl at Mar-a-Lago. That's a lie they keep trying to sell. They got angry with each other over a real estate deal. The building that Donald Trump sold to that Russian for $90 million that the dude fucking bulldozed, that's what they got in a fight over. It had nothing to do with children. It had nothing to do with girls at the club. And morally, you do not get points for saying, I don't give a shit if you farm all the local girls out of the high schools and middle schools in the area, but if you go anywhere near my members' daughters, then you're in big trouble. Fuck you. That's worse. You're fine with him raping girls as long as they're not rich. Fuck you. Fuck you, Charlie Kirk. Stop it. That does not make... And by the way, I'm no body language expert, but this whole dude looks like he's being held up by the MAGA crowd, like they've all got a gun pointed at him.
Different elements here. At the same time, the message that I want the president to hear, both privately and publicly.
No, nobody cares, dummy. Guess what? You just told everyone in your audience to ignore the president's message that he wants everybody to hear, that he's posting on Truth Sinkhole. Maybe he is posting after all. I wouldn't doubt it. I think he is posting. Let's call it posting. Fuck, I'm tired. This asshole's like, the message I truly want you to hear is ignore Trump's message on Truth Sinkhole.
Is that you and the grassroots, the emphasis and the focus on this is, partly partly because of all the
Oh man, this hurts. This fucking stings.
kind of back and forth of, is it up, is it down? Also,
That's not a sentence, asshole. That was nothing. I think he is poosting after all. I take it back.
is that you and the grassroots,
You and the grassroots, this is the message. Here it comes. Get ready. Write it down. Get out. Here it is. Commit this to memory.
the emphasis and the focus on this is, partly because of all the kind of back and forth of, is it up, is it down? Also,
Also nothing. There was no something first. You got to have a thing and for there to also be another thing. That wasn't a thing. I don't know what the fuck that was. What are you talking about? What is grassroots? You're out there. Hey, maggots. What'd you just write down? So can somebody translate this from dipshit to English?
PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, I guess you could call it.
Yes, most people would call PTSD post-traumatic stress disorder if they were trying to explain what the letters PTSD stood for. What the fuck?
But I think part of this is just a messaging misunderstanding. Again, emails are flooding in right now,
No shit.
supportive of the way that we are articulating it.
What? How could they? They're supportive of whatever the fuck word salad you just barfed up all over your desk?
And that's where John Solomon says we're going to get a special prosecutor on this. I think it's phenomenal.
You think it's phenomenal that John Solomon says you're going to get a special prosecutor? No, you're not, asshole. Read Trump's statement. Why would you get a special prosecutor? If it's fake, what's the special prosecutor going to do? Look into who faked all the fake, non-existent hoax evidence?
What I'm going to say to the president, if I see him soon or if we talk on the phone, or I'll say the same thing on the show. There's no private agenda here.
Because if he won't take your call, you're hoping he watches this, audience of one?
Is that, Mr. President, the emphasis on Epstein is truly the best intentions of your most loyal followers.
Yes. Stop calling them weak and stupid and cowardly and pathetic and saying you don't want them to support you ever again because they really mean well. They just don't realize that you're in the Epstein files more than anyone else on the fucking planet except Ghislaine Maxwell, and she's already in jail.
Where we're not...
What? Seriously, guys. What the shit? I mean, I have never had an experience where I hope to God none of you have had an experience where you must come to work feeling like an utter asshole. Just like, time to be an asshole. Turn on the mic. I become the most debased, gaping anus version of myself. Holy God.
Not trying to score points with the CNNs or the New York Times.
'Cause you can't, dummy. You're in front of an IKEA bookshelf.
It's truly because we care about you.
While you try to score points because you really would rather be on CNN than a podcast because you're a boomer and you don't accept this change in media.
It's because we want what's best for the presidency.
That's right. We do. We want it, but it's best for you. It's just tough love.
And one of the core campaign promises that I know that you are pushing forward,
even though you currently aren't,
is that you want to dismantle the deep state. We are messengers here. We are...
Read his comment thing, the tears from the comment section on here. Let's see. I don't think they replay the comment section, do they? News, show more. I don't think they... I think that's a members-only part of this. Let's see. It's got 26 thumbs up and 2 thumbs down. He's got 1.6 million followers, and that's all this can fucking manage? Holy shit.
Relaying what we are hearing from your...
This is on Rumble, so there might be more of a... If there's a clip version of this on YouTube, maybe that's where that is. Holy shit.
Most loyal ultra MAGA supporters all the time.
No, you're a bunch of weak, pathetic losers, and he doesn't need you anymore because he's not going to run again, and he's making his money on your back. Dum-dum. Congratulations, you played yourself.
And it's not that people are saying...
Fucking watching the clock. This is a Glenn Beck segment. He's like, he's talking to the break. The break, okay, I got 3 minutes and 20 seconds till I go to commercial. Till we can run to, fuck.
You know.
No, I don't know. Tell me, big boy.
They want to learn about Epstein because they have any suspicion of President Trump. No, we don't think, no one thinks you're involved in any
What? No one?
way of that stuff whatsoever.
Whatsoever? How fucking stupid are you? Of course he was. You can even say, I don't think he fucked any kids because he's a mama's boy and he likes big tits. He even wished his daughter before she was born would end up with a big tit. So the idea that he likes some prepubescent is ridiculous. You can even say that about him, but it doesn't mean he didn't hang around with Jeffrey Epstein this entire time. And again, how long would it take you to figure out the dude was a pedophile, dummy? How long? Would it take you less than 25 years? If it's less than 25 years that it would take you to figure out Jeffrey Epstein was a pedophile, shut the fuck up.
But the way that you taught us is that we need to go after the...
Oh, no. He didn't teach you. He led you around by the fishhook in your fucking cheek.
rogue intel agencies to lance the boil that has been festering in this country for decades. And by an act of God and by your courage and by what the president has been able...
Oh, my God. What? Is this what the suck-up looks like? Christ almighty.
...to do. And you just happen to be president. We are your students in dismantling the deep state.
You're shitting me, right? What? God, I'm getting like cramps from cringing at this. Like my whole, like it's making my back like little pinches all over, just like, we are your students? The dude's only had 2 friends in his whole fucking life. Jeffrey Epstein and Roy Cohn, you fucking moron. Oh my God. There are girls who are, I don't even want to say that. Because just the disdain for like the victims in this situation, just blowing it off entirely. We are your students? Good Lord.
And this cancer has been festering in this country for decades.
Yeah, at least the 25 years that Trump was friends with the fucking dude.
So the boil is the intelligence community. The boil is James Comey is involved in all of this stuff. James Comey's daughter is the prosecutor on the Ghislaine Maxwell case.
Yeah, and she got 20 years. She got 20 years. She's 60. She was 60 when this happened. She's 62 now. She'll be, if she gets out, she'll be 82. She got 20 years. I think she should have gotten more. But apparently that was the best they could come up with. She got 20 years. And for somebody who hasn't actually physically murdered someone themselves, that's a long fucking time.
Think of all the prosecutors that could have been chosen in the federal government. Maureen Comey, I think that's her name, was chosen as the prosecutor on the Maxwell case. Come on.
The pace? You mean the case?
And the Diddy case. And look,
Did you notice that? Anybody else notice that weird fucking twitch? Watch.
Come on. And the
Yeah. Oof. Yeah, it's the Diddy. He's got the Diddy twitch. He's got a bad case of the Diddy twitches. This is the face of a man who knows he is defending Doe 174.
Diddy case.
Look at that again. Clearly, there's something going on in as Charlie speaks. I'm not quite sure. Hold on, let me see what that is. Maybe I can enhance the sound.
The Maxwell pace. Come on. And the Diddy case.
That's what it was. Okay, I turned it down. I figured it out. It was just they had. I can use AI to reverse the voice isolation. Sorry. Ugh.
And look, my one piece that I would say to the president, privately as well,
is
have an understanding of your supporters and your followers here, and know that they're not trying to take you out. They're not trying to fall for a hoax. And I could tell you, amongst the young people that I'm following right now, they don't really know how to analyze or process this. This is, I would say, Mr. President, this is not a Trump resistance from a lot of the young people, from the college bros and the crypto bros and the podcast people. These are not never Trumpers. Part of that is out there, but it's not this. These are guys that care about transparency.
Yeah, they do. You're right.
And they do want to talk about your success. They do want to talk about this historic presidency. And so instead, let's try to combine all of these forces together.
Yes, combine them.
And try to go after the deep state. And I could tell you right now, Gen Z is really fired up about this, especially young men. I mean, we're getting flooded with thousands, hundreds of thousands of comments that are very unhappy about this. And I think they're unhappy about it because they want, and they voted for President Trump on a government. They want to have a mandate where they assail the deep state. And we all agree. We all agree. Gen Z is going off right now on this. And that's no.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Apparently it is to Trump, asshole. Apparently he's not listening to them. And he's not listening to you.
President Trump was elected primarily to go after the deep state. We want to go after the deep state. A lot of this is largely just a misunderstanding.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. It's largely the entirety.
After using this pink salt recipe,
Oh, shut
I lost
up.
17 pounds in just
I
10 days.
don't care. Stop it. Go away. I'm not listening to you anymore, you weirdo. What the hell? There is apparently the nightly scroll with there is the the Bongino report, which apparently is a live show that is starting up on Rumble right now. Hold on. This is, I guess, where Bongino used to be. I just stumbled across this as those ads were burning out. Okay, here you go.
Everyone, I'm Haley Carania. I just want to, before I start, say thank you to everyone that made it into the chat yesterday. We hit my birthday goal. My goal was to get all 50 states, representation from all 50 states in the chat, and we did that and then some. Nightly Scroll went worldwide. We went global yesterday, so that was very exciting.
Yeah, call me when you go Megaworldwide, lady.
I'm very grateful to everyone who made my wish come true, really. So just thank you all. And thank you for being here tonight and every night. If you want to join my homies in the chat, leave 5 stars.
Whatever.
Elon Musk has unveiled new Grok companions that I don't think will be helping the alleged male loneliness epidemic anytime soon. We're going to get into all of that. Put your phones on Do Not Disturb. Nightly Scroll starts now.
That's the sales point. Is to put your. Is that what I should tell you guys to do so that your families can't contact you during my show? Here's a good idea, dipshit. Hi, if you're watching my show at any time and your phone rings, you can pause and either continue watching from where you were or catch up later and just jump ahead to catch up with what's live, because your life is more important than any video you watch online.
That got everyone up in arms earlier today. President Trump wrote this addressing his supporters. Let's pull it up. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it is.
No, just read the part where she calls you guys weak.
Is a huge post. So we're going to start in the middle when he starts talking about Democrats and how they have all these hoaxes, and their latest hoax is Jeffrey Epstein. So he said all these people want to talk about is the fake news and the success starved Dems is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. He said, let these weaklings continue forward and do the
Shh, he means you.
Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. So he's basically saying Republicans don't stick together the way that Democrats do. He said Democrats stick together like glue, and he's expecting Republicans to just support him, which we do, and I do.
Yeah,
but he's upset that people are not really heeding his call to ignore and memory hole Epstein, which
right. It seems like a heavy lift. Seems like that would require a lot of self cattle excrementing, self bullshitting.
Is a crazy ask. And he was asked about this again in the Oval Office by a reporter, and he doubled down. Watch this.
In your Truth Social this morning, you mentioned past supporters when you were talking about the Epstein issue. Does that mean that you're effectively disowning any supporters who are now calling?
I lost a lot of faith in certain people. Yeah, I lost because.
Oh, Megan. You're never gonna find your way back.
Because they got duped by the Democrats.
Duped by the Democrats. That's what he's saying. Anyone who is now questioning Epstein or demanding more transparency has been duped by the Democrats, and he doesn't want their support anymore. So here's what people online have been saying.
Yeah, by the way, not me. You'll see a lot of this. This is why Glenn Beck's taking calls again. This is why a lot of them are starting to listen to their chat room and that kind of stuff. Yes, cognitive dissonance is the nice way of saying self-bullshitting. I don't know how you de-self-bullshit at some point because they've been doing it so long. I think it's just habitual. But there's a reason why these folks are going to the fucking chats and why they're talking to those folks now when they don't normally. Like, I reference you guys, or I'll do the show or whatever, and then I'll check in with you guys, or we'll put you guys up on the screen like this so everybody can see what you're saying, even if I can't catch all of it as I'm going by, because I see a different timing of what's going by than this. Okay, so because I'm looking straight at the chat right here, and so I can take it in because that's how my brain works. And theirs doesn't. They can only go to it when they specifically look at something, and it's usually curated and members only or whatever by their people who run their shows. So when they're going to the chat so that they can say what they want to say without getting on Trump's bad side, because they're just reading what the chat is saying so that they can go. That's why Charlie Kirk was saying, we're getting tens of thousands. Gen Z is freaking about it. Yes, I can see you, Tar Rat. You can, that's why he's addressing it that way, that we're getting all this from Gen Z. He's laying it. I'm not bitching about this. I'm not calling you out. I'm not noticing that you're a liar. They are. I'm just passing it on. Don't kill the messenger, which is ridiculous because Trump absolutely does.
Representative Justin Amash, he posted this. There's something so incredibly damaging in those files that Trump would rather nuke his base in a desperate effort to get everyone to move on than publicly release the information.
Yeah. And the fact that you haven't seen that till now makes you,
Dum, 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 dum. dumb, stupid. Dumb, silly, stupid, dumb, dumb.
This is not true because President Trump, despite wanting everyone to move on, he has said that Pam Bondi should release everything and
No. No, I see you, Aaron. You can't hide from me. I see you. No, he didn't say that at all. He said she should release all the relevant information, and all the relevant information has been, or we'll look at the actual quote. That's such a lie. He did not say that.
everything should be released. He's not against that. And again, you all know where I stand. I don't think that Trump is in these files anymore.
You know he is. You don't have to think he is, stupid.
Or so than we already know that he was an acquaintance of Epstein.
Acquaintance. That's adorable. An acquaintance. Because all of my acquaintances know how on what side of the age spectrum I likes my women.
He flew on the plane, but he didn't go to the island. What?
No, you don't. No, you don't. No. You don't know he didn't go to the island. You don't. Because he went to St. Thomas all the time, and there was a constant boat and helicopter, like it was practically a theme park ride going to and from.
Have you. So I don't think that that's true. Evan Kilgore, another
one way to find out, they could release all of it, right?
Conservative influencer. He's done with Trump. He said, I've been a loyal Trump supporter since 2016. I lost a job, friendships, been smeared online, doxxed, and
sorry, I should have got back up, ma'am. Say that again, real quick.
Acquaintance of Epstein. He flew on the plane, but he didn't go to the island, what have you. So I don't think that that's true. Evan Kilgore, another conservative influencer, he's done with Trump. He said, I've been a loyal Trump supporter since 2016. I lost a job, friendships, been smeared online, doxxed, and pressed charges on people who have stalked and harassed me for supporting Trump. If Trump doesn't want my support because I care about the Epstein files, then I'm done. Bye. Victor Nieves, who works at the Gateway Pundit, he's also out. He posted this on X. I accept your terms, Mr. President. You don't want my support. It won't be given. I'm out. Abby Libby, I follow her. She used to have a conspiracy podcast that was really good. She posted, no, I'm not changing the position.
Sorry, she used to have...
I've held on Epstein for years. Because Trump...
Wait. She used to have a conspiracy podcast that I used to follow because it was really good. Now it's not a conspiracy anymore because Trump is involved. Anyways, back to... I'm sorry, I stopped the emoting. Go ahead.
Friend of Epstein waved his hands, called it a hoax, and demanded loyalty over common sense. I agree with this. And David Leatherwood, he posted this on X. If the Epstein mess is enough to make you completely turn on the president after everything he's done for this country, you're a snowflake. Now, people are very quick.
You a fucking snowflake. You are a snowflake of the worst order. You are delicate and think that you are special. You fucking snowflakes. How like Megyn Kelly, who is unique and beautiful in the world. Damn it, why are you... Oh, fuck it. They're calling each other snowflakes over some people's inability to move on from, to accept that the entire Jeffrey Epstein thing was a hoax. It's so good. I will see a couple more seconds of this. I was not expecting this show to come on. This is pretty...
and get...
You're insane.
Triggered by this on both sides. Personally, I'm not offended. I can support Trump. I can also care about Epstein, but...
No, you can't. No, you really do have to pick one, stupid. Also, I just wouldn't... I don't know if I'm... you talk for a living. I don't want to give you too many notes right out of the gate, but maybe don't say a sentence like, I care about Trump. I support Trump, and I also care about Epstein. It sounds like you're worried about both of them.
Both things can be true at once, and that is true for me. President Trump is the greatest president of my lifetime, hands down.
I was born earlier this year in a chrome tube at a dipshit cloning factory.
Proud to have voted for him 3 times. I love the work that he's done on the border to lower taxes, peace through strength foreign policy. That's what I associate with President.
You mean stuff that pretty much any Republican could have done? Honestly, I guess they're right. If there are Republicans in the House and Senate that voted for this shit, obviously they would have passed the same stuff as president, in theory, but they wouldn't have been friends with Jeffrey Epstein for a quarter century, so you kind of skipped over them because you wanted to vote for Jeffrey Epstein's wingman. Just say it. Just say it.
President Trump, not these one-off comments. I think he's just very frustrated.
Oh, yeah, that's what it is. It's frustration. He's got a lot. It's a lot. He gets very emotional. That's why we can't have a woman president.
But I put policy over personality, and he...
No, you don't. Or you would have voted for fucking Biden because he passed an infrastructure bill.
Do I think it's smart that President Trump is talking down to the people who elected him?
I'm going to go... What the fuck? Let's see. Does she think it's smart for Trump to talk down to the people that elected him? Talk down. I mean, he is above them. He is their Lord and Savior. Talk down to them? But I mean, maybe they like it. Maybe obviously they've been trained to like this. I think I've come up with an answer. Oh God, this is going to be so hard. I'm going to go with, yes, it's a good idea to talk down to his supporters. Survey says, fuck, God damn it. All right, what does she say?
No.
See, we both got it wrong.
This is kind of like President Trump's own basket of deplorables moment or garbage human moment, right? He's kind of telling...
Yes, he's calling his supporters garbage humans and putting a bunch of them in a basket of deplorables and telling them to get fucked.
People that supported him that he doesn't want them to support him anymore if they don't stand with him on this one issue.
Yes, weird, isn't it? One issue. Hey, it's not an issue, lady. It's not an issue. This isn't about the current state of real estate prices across the country or the price of eggs. It's not an issue. These aren't kitchen table issues. Most parents aren't sitting across the table from each other wondering whether or not to send their daughter off to Epstein's Island to pay their health care bills, I guess. Right? It's not an issue. It's a fucking crime that he was a willing participant in for decades, you dipshit. Oi, all right, now, that was a surprise little jump into whatever, the fill-in show, now that Bongholio has sold his soul. And of course, name check in many ways. Who's in trouble now? Megyn Kelly, who used to work at Fox News and left because she was sexually harassed, and now is on the side of the sexual harassers, doesn't have a single problem with any of them, has Mark Halpern on her show all the time, a dude who was bounced for this same kind of behavior.
I don't actually know what Trump is doing with his message.
No, you don't. I mean, there's literally, it's nice to see somebody at least admit there is no way to crowbar this nonsense into the skull of someone who can, in theory, dress themselves and wipe properly.
Because last night I watched the Brett Baer, the top of his show, and he ran.
Yeah, nobody watches the rest of it. Thank you. I agree. I mean, you can watch the top of Brett Baer's show, but it's like, before he even gets to the first commercial, you're like, check, please.
Long report on Epstein and the scandal and the MAGA infighting. And he ran a soundbite of Trump last night, which we have, where he's saying I think we have it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, play it.
I think it's in SOT 1, where he says he's fine with having Pam Bondi release more materials that she deems releasable. Here it is.
Releasable. Yeah, sure. You mean the stuff that she said, like, I've got everything, I have nothing. It's up to her. It's her fucking whatever. Don't yell at me. Yell at her. She can release whatever she wants. I'm not telling her anything. Behind the scenes, I'm telling her, don't you fucking dare. The yard guys are apparently here, and they're falling into the window.
Daughter-in-law said that there should be transparency in the Epstein case.
Said your daughter-in-law, he means Laura Trump, because she was interviewed, I think, on Charlie Kirk's show or something like that.
With her, sir.
The Attorney General's handled that very well. She's really done a very good job. And I think that when you look at it, you'll understand that. I would like to see that also. But I think the Attorney General, the credibility is very important. And you want credible evidence for something like that.
You want credible evidence. Okay, yep, I agree. There we go. Credible evidence. What about that credible evidence? Is there more credible evidence to be seen?
And I think the Attorney General has handled it very well.
Oh, they cut out before he said she's released all the credible evidence.
Okay, that wasn't on there, but he does say the credible part, and here's that. This is later that day, SOT 6.
Mr. President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm...
Oh, by the way, I think CoffeeZilla pointed this out, and so did, what's that girl's name that was on Beck's show recently, and we've seen her interviewed a couple times. She was on Peanut Butter Dickhead's podcast. She's done like 2 giant goddamn books. That's not a mic issue. That's literally the... Hi, guys. Yeah, I don't know. This is the leaf blower right outside the window. I'm sorry. It's a yard guy. He'll be over in a second. Hi. Well, here,
things are breaking down. Something is wrong with the picture of sound.
Okay, I think he moved further away. Oh wait, now he's coming back. Son of a bitch. The side yard is like 6 by 12 feet. Not go fire the guy. I'm not gonna fire anybody. Guy's working hard, I presume. Unless he's just standing out there going, like, it turns out my yard guy today is a maggot, and he's just standing out there going, oh yeah? I know where your little office is, you weirdo. Yeah, that was a yes. That was definitely a yes. Did you guys hear that? He revved the engine just when I said that. He's clearly watching the show. I see you. I see you. All right, here we go. Back to this thing. All right.
Why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's been handled? Why do you think that is?
Oh yeah, sorry, the CoffeeZilla thing. Lutnick lives in a house that was next door to Jeffrey Epstein in New York, and literally touched the property. And he bought it from a trust that's owned by God knows who, but it was from Epstein sold it into this trust, and the trust sold it to him. Now, a lot of people who bought property from Jeffrey Epstein insisted on it being put into a real estate trust first, and then buying it out of it, so it couldn't be said that they bought property from him. Just letting you know. So Nutlick over here, knew Epstein as well.
They would be so interested. He's dead for a long time.
Hold on.
He was never a big factor in terms of life.
He was never a big factor in terms of life. He sure as fuck was to at least 1,000 girls, dumbass.
I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. I really don't. And the credible information's been given. Don't forget, we went.
There you go. See that the credible I think the credible evidence should be given, or information, and should be given out, and then later says it has been given. That's it.
2 years of the Mueller witch hunt and all of the different things, the Steele dossier, which was all fake.
By the way, this is trying obfuscation through all this. Howard Lutnick's ties to Jeffrey Epstein come under scrutiny. Howard Lutnick's real estate ties to financier and child sex offender Jeffrey Epstein are once again drawing scrutiny, given the Commerce Secretary's apparent support for President Trump's dismissal of what he described as the Epstein case, or he's now calling the Epstein hoax. A 2019 investigation by Cranes found that Epstein, in addition to his infamous townhouse at 9 East 71st Street in Manhattan, also known as the Herbert N. Strauss House, had significant links to the adjacent property, which real estate records show is still owned by Lutnick. Gee, you think, when they knew the raid was coming, they didn't drill a hole through the fucking wall and get some of that shit out of there? Newsweek has reached out to the Commerce Department for comment on the property and Lutnick's relationship with his former employer. Why it matters. The dispute that has arisen in the Republican Party over Epstein and the client list he is alleged to have possessed has become a significant thorn in the side of the Trump administration. Prominent MAGA figures, including Tucker Carlson, yes, all the snowflakes. The president himself had a long-standing personal ties with, with Epstein, who died in 2019, from what the Department of Justice recently confirmed as suicide. However, the suicide finding has been disputed by his lawyers and is doubted by a significant number of Americans. Lutnick's own links to Epstein stem from overlapping property interests and do not indicate any interactions or past relationship between the pair. However, the details have nonetheless garnered significant interest on social media, with prominent accounts sharing the information and their posts amassing millions of views. What to know? The property at 11 East 71st Street is situated east of 5th Avenue on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. In 2015, Lutnick, then CEO of financial services firm Cantor Fitzgerald, hosted a fundraiser for Democratic primary candidate Hillary Clinton at the 10,000 square foot home, and real estate records still list him as the property's owner. In addition to being his neighbor, real estate records show that Epstein was also listed as an owner of the property prior to Lutnick purchasing it in 1998. As first revealed in Crane's 2019 investigation, a now dissolved entity with links to Epstein called Sam Conversion Corp. Bought 11 East 71st Street in 1988. It was later sold for an unknown consideration to a specialized trust, then to another, the Comet Trust, in 1996. The latter, Cranes found, had financial and familial ties to an individual whose name appeared in Epstein's Black Book of Contacts obtained by the FBI during its investigation. In addition, the property records seen by Newsweek show that Epstein was listed as the trustee of the building during these transactions and transfers while playing a direct role in them. Epstein granted his lawyer Jeffrey Shantz power of attorney over the property in 96, selling it to the Comet Trust a few weeks later. In 1998, the Comet Trust sold the property to Lutnick, who took out a $4 million mortgage for the purchase, which it paid off in 2018. And there he is. Just like Alex Acosta, he's got, he's got a position in the goddamn, he was Epstein's fucking neighbor, and Trump gave him a position in the government.
All that information was fake, but I don't understand why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody.
Of interest to anybody. Why would that be? Let me see. Hold on. I think I might know. Give me 1 second. Could be for, well, let's see. What's a good one? Yeah. Could be for reasons like this. That might be it. Might be this stuff. Might be that you're not going to be able to just make this go away.
Pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring.
There's no such thing as sordid and boring. Also, does this asshole, you're talking about man of the fucking people and the populist power of Donald Trump, does he have any idea how much true crime people watch? Any idea?
And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that.
Look at him fucking laughing. Pretty bad people want to keep this going. Megyn Kelly, he means you. Charlie Kirk, he means you. Pretty bad people want to keep this going.
But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say let them have it.
But he said also in the same paragraph that the credible evidence has been given.
Okay. So yesterday, that was late Tuesday. Let him have it. If there's more credible information, she can release it. Now, he was full of insults for the people who are still interested in Epstein.
Right.
Mainly you, ma'am.
But then this morning, he sends out a Truth Social that was just a barn burner of a post that reads in part.
Yeah, it was, what's the phrase? Fucking moronic.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it here. It's long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. First, it starts off with how the radical left Democrats have hit pay dirt again, just like with the fake and fully discredited Steele dossier, the lying 51 intelligence agents, the laptop.
By the way, does anyone know why Megyn Kelly is being kept in a storage room at Severance? I just hope she remembers everything when she goes through that door.
From hell, blah, blah, blah. A totally fake and make-up story used in order to hide crooked Hillary Clinton's big loss in the 2016 presidential election. These scams and hoaxes are all the Democrats are good at. It's all they have. Okay, and then they say, he says, their new scam is what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. The Democrats' new scam. I mean, this is more of a Republican issue. The Democrats are...
It's also not a hoax, asshole.
Now piling on. But he says this is a Democrat news scam in what we will forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. And my past, in all caps, supporters have bought into this bullshit, quoting here, hook, line, and...
No, you're not quoting here. He puts the word bullshit in quotes because he's a fucking moron.
Sinker. They haven't learned their lesson and probably never will, even after being conned by the lunatic...
Yeah, Megan, guess what? You were born stupid and weak. You're going to stay stupid and weak because you're a woman, and that's Trump's standard.
For 8 long years. I've had more success in 6 months than perhaps any president in our country's history. And all these people want to talk about, with strong prodding by the fake news and the success-starved Dems, is the Jeffrey Epstein hoax. Let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success, because I don't want their support.
I guess she is going to read the whole thing.
Anymore. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Make America great again. And so what we've seen sort of in the past couple of days is...
It is hilarious, especially the part where he effectively asserts that Megyn Kelly is a loser and he doesn't want her support anymore, and she's a sponge-headed fuck. I love that part. That's awesome.
Trump has managed to call large portions of the MAGA base that are still interested.
And you, Megan, and you specifically, you. He's talking about the people who spoke on stage at the TPUSA thing, the toilet paper USA bullshit.
And Epstein want answers, selfish weaklings. He doesn't want their support, and that they're believing in a Democrat-created hoax.
Yes. Yeah. And you only are allowed to do one thing, Megan. You must immediately just accept this and change your behavior to fit in line with Dear Leader. That's it. That's all you can do. Sorry. There is no gray area. You're either a weak, pro-Democrat hoax, subversive, who was never really a supporter, or may have been at one point, but certainly aren't now, or you're a true maggot. That's it. Flip a coin, dummy.
Now, there's all sorts of, substantive responses to that on the Epstein.
Then have at it, dipshit.
Merits, but I'm not interested in that for now. I'm interested in the politics of it, Rich.
Yeah. So he's in.
Yeah. So this is really fuck. I mean, the hard part, I guess, is the fact that it's Trump. So we can't exactly, be direct and completely honest. If this was anybody else, we'd shit him up a treat, but can you cut away while I run?
The phase he often is in when he's in the midst of these controversies, I think.
It's a phase. Jesus Christ. You're talking about the president of the United States and the leader of your entire movement like he's a fucking, like, 12-year-old who cut off half his hair.
Spaghetti against the wall phase, and then he'll see what sticks and then go with that. But I don't think it's a great idea to make the connection to the Russia hoax, which was about him. So this kind of implies that this also is about him. Right?
It kind of is, though.
I think it really is. And the idea that...
Yeah, it's weird. You know what? It's a good point. Why the fuck would Donald Trump take this personally? He seems to be taking it very personally. Like, the idea that people want to look at these files seems to hurt him personally. Why would that be? Why? What could possibly be the thing that is in the files that would make him react in such a personal way to this? I'll think about it. I'll get back to you. It starts with a E for evidence. Evidence, is that how the French pronounce it?
He doesn't know where this is coming from.
Yeah, he does. His past.
It was all created by Democrats. This has been more of a matter of interest for the right, including the highest official.
A matter of interest for the right. That's how I've looked at it. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. A matter. This is what Epstein is, and I think I speak for all of us on the deck of the Titanic, is a matter of interest. And the fact that he is in the lifeboat is causing us to have to choose. We can either get in the lifeboat with Epstein, or we could stay on the Titanic. Which Epstein is also here. I don't know how he pulls that off. He's on both.
In his Justice Department, right? Pam Bondi talked about it. Kash Patel talked about it. Bongino talked about it. Now,
why would they talk about it? Probably nothing.
Patel and Bongino, yeah, I give them a little leeway because
Why would you give them any? They were direct about it. They were specific about it. They didn't hold back at all. They were like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We got to show this list day fucking one, right? It wasn't like, we really need to check out. This has been a mystery for a long time. They're like, we know what they know. And as soon as we get in, we're going to let you know what they know. And the only thing we're going to hold back is victims' home addresses and their email. And we'll cut them out of all the photos and release the other people to you. Just anytime you see a hole in a picture, that's one of the victims, probably naked, except in the pictures with Trump, which we will surreptitiously burn or put in a helicopter and drop out in a box into the ocean with a giant weight attached to them, like they're victims of the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Bongino was a podcaster, and Patel's kind of a figure. They didn't talk about it the same way once they were in office.
They didn't talk about it the same way once they're in office. Fuck. Just turd polishing 101, ladies and gentlemen. This is a master class. This is a subject of interest, and they are speaking of things very differently than they did before they were in office.
Bondi, who is a sitting attorney general of the United States, handed out these ridiculous, bogus binders and a stupid act of...
The bogus binders, heretofore known as the bogus binders, which were fucking gnarly.
Pandering, these poor influencers, they held them up like they had,
Poor influencers? Here's a good idea. Don't hold it up and go, look what I got, until you look inside and see what you got. Like, it's there. You had a little time. Or did they just hand you the fucking binder and then kick your ass out the door like, wave it, wag it, you dipshit, wag the binder. Wag, what? Wag, hey. Can I look at it first? No. What? No, you will not. Wag the binder.
Finally had the holy tablets. Of course, when they look through it, they realize it's all old or redacted and completely worthless. And then...
Oh, it's worse than that. It was some of the same stuff that was available online already, but a shittier copy. A bad photocopy of a bad photocopy. And why would that be? Well, I guess it might be that the flight logs have people's names handwritten, and on those ones in particular, Trump's name fades on them like somebody had taken a fucking eraser to them.
Seemed to suggest, she's wiggled out, tries to wiggle out of it, but seemed to suggest she had a client list on her desk on her desk.
On her desk, right there, on her desk.
And then she, everyone wants it to go away. When she turns around a month or two later and says, "Oh, forget it," So
funny, it's that funny. You know what I mean? You're like, it would be so hilarious if it wasn't us. Son of a bitch.
I understand the questions about this, but and as you've put it, she either was lying then, right, when she said that had the client list, or is lying now when.
Real quick, how about both? How about both? How about she didn't have it? She was just bullshitting people, which is a form of lying, because she didn't actually have stuff. She hadn't looked through it. Because again, the biggest question I think is that she had the list on her desk, and they asked you, "Have you seen anything?" John Roberts asked, "Did you see anything in there that stood out to you?" And she said, "Not yet." Okay, fuck you. The idea that you would have that would land on your desk and you wouldn't go, "Hold my calls." All right, motherfucker, let's do this. Seriously, think about who, even if you're not the person who had made these promises to everyone, right? That you're like, you're going to get the list, and once I get the list, I'm going to just redact anybody who was a victim, but you're going to get all the stuff. And then you get what is effectively the list, which is probably the black book and all it's the names that were circled in the black book, which are the people that were close to Epstein, right? That were in business with him. And so Epstein or somebody with him would circle their names, who was important. And obviously Trump's was double circled. So these would be the people on the list. So you get that list, and this is your first time looking at it, and you have access to this, and that all of Trump's supporters believe that they need access to this, not just that they want it, they need it. You get access to that, it lands on your desk, and you're like, whatevs, I'll get around to it. There is no fucking way you wouldn't go, yeah, dude had like 9 numbers for Trump in there.
She says there's no client list. I take the first option. I think it was a stupid act of pandering. And she got
that. By the way, this is the Megyn Kelly storyline, which is that Pam Bondi is an attention-seeking whore. Not that she was told by Trump directly to bullshit the public, gaslight the fuck out of these people. I mean, Megyn Kelly, every time she talks about Pam Bondi, is like, she's just throwing herself in front of a camera. She just wants to be associated with this stuff. Because maybe she believed it, dumbass. Do you ever think of that? That the reason she was putting herself out there is because she believed she would actually be able to release it. And then she went, oh shit, right. Now that I'm looking at the files, Trump's all over these fucking things. There's no way we could release these.
Wrapped around the axle on this thing. And she should. Tomorrow, she should do a press conference, and it should be till the last dog die kind of press conference. Everyone can come in. We're credentialing everyone. I don't know. I don't care who you are.
I'll be there.
Or what outlet you're from.
Yes, I will go.
And I'll answer every single question about it. And that this is why the conclusion that we've come to. And if there are other things that can be released, as you know, and as I've discussed on the show, the Epstein files makes it sound as it's like a file cabinet in the corner of her office, and she has one of those little file cabinet keys, and she can open.
No, it doesn't. It sounds like boxes and boxes and boxes of paper documents, CDs, and thumb drives and hard drives, and paperwork that either describe the contents if they have been gone through, or the evidence list for where it came from, who got it, what seems to be on it at cursory glance. Nobody thinks if it's a fucking file cabinet in her desk, dipshit. Nobody thinks that way. As a matter of fact, what most of us picture is that giant wall of fucking cardboard boxes at Mar-a-Lago.
It and take out the 10 manila folders with the Epstein files. Whereas it's a vast investigative record. And surely more can be released than has been released.
Yes, they can be released, and stop calling me Shirley.
Surely there's some things, grand juries.
I said stop.
Secrecy and the rest that should stay, shouldn't be disclosed. But surely there's more to disclose.
Quit it. You know what? I take it back. I'm starting to like it. You feel free to call me Shirley.
More about it than I do, since I'm a National Review type. But we haven't seen the autopsy, right? Have we seen the actual report on why they've concluded
I don't think so.
Suicide?
We've heard from the medical examiner for sure. I'm very well aware of what she found and why she found it, but I don't know that we have the actual paper. Could be, and I just haven't seen it.
Also, did she actually see the body, or is she judging based on x-rays that she saw that may or not be his fucking neck?
Why not?
Here's
Might be somebody else's broken neck.
Problem,
If we
though,
don't.
Rich. Here's the problem. Like it is. There's a middle ground here that I keep trying to remind people of. I don't believe
No, there's not.
that there's a massive pedophile ring that's being covered up, though. Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, that doesn't. I got news for you. There doesn't have to be a massive ring of pedophiles where they work together. This guy simply just gathered pedophiles around him and serviced them or blackmailed them or both over a period of time. Maybe when he died, the fucking gang broke up. But if there was another Epstein to come along, everybody could just jump in with that dude and his female handler or whatever the fuck. There doesn't have to be a cabal for there to be a bunch of perpetrators.
I don't believe Trump did anything terrible that's in there that he's trying to hide.
Have you seen the Katie Johnson filings, the deposition, the legal case? Do you think Megyn Kelly's read it? Or do you think she's actively avoided reading it? Because it's in that file. If there's a big, all-inclusive FBI file, and I think that's really what everybody's talking about. You know how we talk about the FBI creates a file of everybody? Just, keep tabs on folks, J. Edgar Hoover style, which they absolutely don't. But they certainly do on some people, especially if they're building a case on this person. Once they're building a case on a person, especially somebody at this level, it's a lot of stuff. It's everything they can get their hands on. Hal sent it to her. It's a great idea. Hold on one second. Is this Megyn Kelly's channel? Yeah, hold on. Oh, wait, maybe, can I add a comment? Let's see. Hey, whoops. Hey, Meg. 2 words. Katie Johnson. Whoops. I can type. Hold on. You twit. How about that? Do you think that'll work? The link plus, hey Meg, 2 words, Katie Johnson, you twit. I'll put a... How about that? There you go. Thumbs up my own stuff. P.S. Check out... Whoops. Check out Michael Wolff's story about the pictures Epstein showed him of Trump. How about that? That work? Okay.
Though it is possible that somebody made some scurrilous allegations against him, because that's happened on...
Yeah, scurrilous allegations. Bitches be lying, especially little girls. Jesus. You fucking left Fox News because you were sexually harassed. You'd think so is this your way of giving Roger Ailes' memory an apology?
The record, outside of the Epstein case. So would I be shocked to see somebody did it? No, I wouldn't. I believe, though, that there might be some names in there who are politically connected to Team Blue and Team Red, and neither side has a great interest in sort of hanging those people out to dry. And
I have a great interest in hanging those people out to dry. I don't give a fuck who they are on our side. Goodbye. No problem whatsoever. We got plenty of good people. We got a deep bench. Fuck them. All of them. All of them can go. No reservations. Piss off. No, I don't think we're... Jesus Christ. This is projection, by the way. I would like to say this is specifically projection. She's projecting her lack of ethics about this onto everybody else. That's why they do this. There's an equal number somehow, like, you know, because like Howard Lutnick, he gave money to Dems and Republicans to try to weasel his way into positions of power, basically for, you know, lobbying purposes.
Those people would be the kind of people making calls, being like, would really appreciate it if you didn't do this, and maybe the donors are important enough that they're listening. That's a possibility. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, just throw it out there. Yeah, that's what you're doing. Just excellent.
But I think the way this needs to be handled, like any scandal, any potential scandal, is...
Yeah, tell him, thank you, Meg. Thank you. Tell Donald Trump how to fix this after he called you a loser and said he doesn't want your help anymore.
You get out early. You get out loudly.
Right.
You open up all the coffers and say, come on in, take a look. This is everything we know.
I'm sorry. I forgot you're a fucking moron for a split second. I don't know what it was. I don't know. Maybe it's the kind of like Pottery Barn like look of the whole thing, like it's a QVC show that gave the illusion that you know how to tie your fucking shoes. He can't do that, dummy, because the Katie Johnson deposition is in there. The images Michael Wolff talked about are in there. He can't open up the coffers and show everything because it's worse. That's the thing that I don't think maggots have grasped yet. No matter how bad the maggot fallout is, it is nowhere near as bad as them knowing the truth. I'm not interested in watching her try to help him, wipe his ass. But this is a, by the way, apparently, hit the like, share the show, etc., etc., etc. What a lovely group of people. Thank you very much. I'm going to do an AMA at the end of the show because we met our goal earlier today. So an Ask Me Anything starting in a half an hour. DOJ just fired Epstein prosecutor Maureen Comey. Of course they did. Mm-hmm. So this is I guess this is them shit. This is when he stopped talking about it. When Charlie Kirk said, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Charlie Kirk's audience turns on him over Epstein. This is Jimmy Dore.
So here's what Charlie Kirk said after that. So
also, I got to say, when I make fun of Charlie Kirk and what he says, I don't actually take him seriously. I don't expect the truth or even a truly moral narrative from Charlie Kirk. Never would. Jimmy somehow does. Like, if you listen to him talk about right-wing talkers, he's genuinely shocked at when they're hypocritical or they're mistaken or lying.
After that, this is what he said.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being.
Oh.
I'm going to trust my friends in the administration. I'm going to trust my friends in the government to do what needs to be done, solve it, balls in their hands. I've said plenty this last weekend. So if you guys want to see my commentary on it, that's fine.
Okay, well, the balls are in your mouth because you're a bitch.
So anybody saying...
Fucking Kurt's finally coming around. And by the way, the funny thing about Kurt is, it's the minute Trump does something this fucking egregious, this obvious, this so on the fucking nose. Because again, where's the fucking laptop? If you're going to say that, Biden wouldn't release information or whatever, Trump never did either, still hasn't. So if it exists, what the fuck are you waiting for? Why would both sides hide it if it exists? Okay. Same thing with this situation. Now, we know that they were trying Ghislaine Maxwell during the Biden administration. There were civil suits going on. But it wasn't until Trump was so, ham-handed in his, brutalizing his own followers over this that Kurt starts bitching about it. And he doesn't bitch about Trump doing this. It's the government. It's the government can't be trusted. Now, does anybody know real quick who was president when when Jeffrey Epstein was arrested the first time and got his sweetheart deal? Does anybody know? Was it broadly Democrat or Republican in the White House? And in what state? No, Trump was in when he was arrested the last time and died. The first time when he was convicted. Yeah, hold on one second. Let's see. Yeah. Not only, yes, it was George Bush. Nope, it was no Obama. It was George Bush when he was arrested and given his sweetheart deal in the state of Florida. And does anybody remember who the fucking governor was? Jeb Bush. The brothers. One of them was in the White House. One of them was in the governor's house. And Alex Acosta gave Jeffrey Epstein his sweetheart fucking deal. That was during the Bush years. Not during Obama. Not during Biden. And then the next time we get an arrest, where, you know, people have been pushing on it for a bunch of time, you know, for a long time, finally get an arrest and he dies in fucking custody under Trump. Now, of all the people associated with Epstein that are alive that have been prosecuted because Brunel killed himself in his cell before he was convicted, Ghislaine Maxwell is the only one, and she was arrested, tried, and convicted during the Biden administration. She might have been arrested before. She was tried and convicted at the very least. Definitely know that. I'm fairly certain. I think the case against her was brought then as well. But I don't want to speak out of school because I don't know how long the case was going on with her specifically. But she was tried and convicted, given 20 years during the Biden administration. And the lawsuits proceeded during the Biden administration. But he gets a sweetheart deal when a Republican is in the White House and and the president's brother is running the state he's in. And then all of the people involved get positions in government under the next Republican president. But it's government, Kurt. It's the government we can't trust. It doesn't matter who's in charge. It's the government. Lazy.
Trust the government.
Yeah. See these assholes? When it's Biden, it's fucking Biden. When it's Obama, it's fucking Biden. Or it's fucking Obama. But when it's Trump, all of a sudden it's the government.
Bitch.
Has lost the plot. And I'm not going to call Charlie Kirk names. I'm not going to disparage him. I'm going to disagree with him on policy and the idea that you're supposed to trust government.
Well, I see through his big head, and that guy's corralling you back into being a good boy, and he knows his job, and I don't know how old he is. He looks very young, so it's already ridiculous.
First of all, wait. Fuck you, Kurt. Did you hear Jimmy, like, sucking up to Charlie Kirk? Clearly, there is some money to be made talking at TPUSA as a speaker.
That he's a commentator. I mean, props to you having such a deformed head and you've made it as a guy. No,
Look at Jimmy trying to, like, cover this. Hold on 1 second, kids. I'll be right back. I think the Gardner thing's coming. All right. They're almost gone. All right, we're good. Yeah. Notice how, like, listen to Jimmy talking about Charlie fucking Kirk. Rake my leaves. Dragons Marine says, rake my leaves. You don't actually think we have leaves here, do you? There are no leaves. I'm racking my brain trying to figure out. I think that guy's blowing sand. Leaves. That's adorable. Listen to Jimmy talk about Charlie Kirk again.
He looks very young, so it's already ridiculous that he's a commentator. I mean, props to you having such a deformed head and you've made it as a guy. No,
Wait, 1 second.
Kirk has lost the plot. And I'm not going to call Charlie Kirk names. I'm not going to disparage him. I'm going to disagree with him on
Why the fuck not?
policy and the idea that you're supposed to.
Policy? Oh, you disagree with him on that, I don't know, fucking rural hospitals may or may not need to be shut down so that, like, red state maggots can die driving halfway across the state to get to a hospital?
Trust government.
Well, I see through his big head, and that guy's corralling you back into being a good boy, and he knows his job, and I don't know how old he is. He looks very young. So it's already ridiculous that he's a commentator.
It's not ridiculous. He's literally the Gen Z whisperer. That's the whole point. TPUSA is like a college-related organization. As a matter of fact, he might be aging out of it.
I mean, props to you having such a deformed head, and you've made it as a guy. No, it figures in. It figures in, because a head that big should be smart enough to know you should never let that go. There's a child rape network that controls the West. The thing he loves, he hates Islam, but he loves the West. And the second some Muslim grooming game in England isn't busted, he's going to be all over that. But the ones that run your own country, your friends you just said, you're going to just trust them. What?
By the way, Kurt prefers Trump to Harris. Remember the woman who never flew on Epstein's plane?
A dipshit. And I would think a thick head like that wouldn't be all skull. I would think there'd be brain in there.
Well, I think he knows that he can't keep talking about Epstein because his audience sees through it. And
I'd become his audience if he had some principle and some integrity. You know, Alex Jones, they attacked him for crying about Trump, but that guy's been through shit none of you could go through.
Yeah, you don't know. You don't know what it's like to be Alex Jones and lose, millions, tens of millions of dollars that you made selling dick pills with lead in them while you mocked dead toddlers to their parents' faces. You don't know what that like. You haven't had problems like that.
$1 billion settlement. Okay? And Alex Jones, I watched.
Over what? Over what, Kurt? Over what? Kirk, whatever. Over what?
Him trying. We had Kathy O'Brien on who didn't want to. She forgives Reagan, even though the despicable. I don't forgive Reagan. I think he's despicable. But this got like. Now's the time to have principles. MAGA was supposed to be.
He voted for this. This is what you're finding out. Both of these assholes voted for Trump. Let's just say it. Fucking say it.
Full transparency.
That's hilarious.
Trump said this on Rogan. I think it would be really cleansing to get all the JFK info. Do you feel like we were cleansed? How come the people that smuggled drugs in this country in the 90s and they're doing it now and ruining it, how come they get to have podcasts? And how come they still get to be in charge?
That's right. Remember that?
Your vote counts while the gangsters that rape your kids are still there? I'm moving on, says Charlie. Nah, I'm not letting him off the hook with that. You're a fuck for that, dude.
Here's the thing. Why would he be on the hook for you? Right? These guys are pissed because they think, and this is supposedly a left-winger. This is the birth of the hashtag faux-gressive concept, was this fucking guy pretending to be to the left of Bernie Sanders. That ship has fucking sailed, and this is a great lesson, everybody, in the talk the talk but don't walk the walk crowd, selling people a line of bullshit.
Yeah. You remember that?
Oh my God, he's reading a joke that Kirk sent him, isn't he? He's about to do it, isn't he?
When the CIA brought crack cocaine to America on purpose, and we all know that they did it. And the guy who exposed it, by the way, committed suicide by shooting himself in the head twice.
Yeah,
so when they do that to someone, that's a message. Nobody else better ever talk against the CIA like that again. If you have
the CIA, Trump is doing this.
Real evidence, which he did. So they shoot him in the head twice, and they say it was a suicide.
Did the CIA make him party with Epstein? Is that what? Is this just MK Ultra at this point? Is Trump just this innocent fucking victim? This poor second generation rich kid who, was, burdened with the millions of dollars his dad gave him, and the CIA shot him with some sort of space ray that made him become a pedophile's wingman? How about some fucking responsibility?
That's a message. But guess what happened this past weekend at Turning Point USA was huge. It may not seem like it, but the event marks an actual turning point. Ironically, a turning point in history. If you were paying attention, it should be abundantly clear that Charlie Kirk and Turning Point cannot contain the moods and opinions of conservative youth and have no choice but to adapt to it.
Good point.
Right. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for Jimmy Dore beating the drum of youth adapting to the true conservative lifestyle. What?
That's a good point.
So
it is. It's great, especially if you want kids, I guess, to be conservatives, quote unquote, especially the khaki wearing, America First maggot style.
Him saying, I'm not going to talk about it anymore is his way of adapting to it. Tucker literally said, if you serve in the IDF, you should have your citizenship revoked. And the crowd roared and cheered. Now,
yeah, but if you have dual citizenship with Israel, you have to serve in the IDF. It's compulsory. So what he's saying is that no Jews from Israel should be allowed in the country. Or I guess Arabs too. If there are Arab Israelis, they get to be kicked out of the country too. I think it's more about a regional bigotry.
Zionists are all over Twitter crying to Kirk about how he betrayed them by platforming Tucker and Dave Smith. The presence of Tucker Carlson and Dave Smith wasn't an accident. The next generation prefers them over the likes of Laura Jigsaw Loomer, Ben Shapiro, and Mark Levin.
Yeah, no kidding.
Kirk is still a Zionist, but he cannot stop the momentum of the...
So it's funny, like Laura Jigsaw Loomer, Ben Shapiro, and Mark Levin. So it's only the woman that they make fun of her face. Okay.
Anti-Israel right. So he had no choice but to platform them. Otherwise, he'll lose all relevance.
Yeah. Also, a yarmulke wouldn't fit on his head.
Epstein, JFK...
I'd like to remind everyone that this is a video about Jimmy Dore and Kirk attacking Charlie Kirk for not being conservative enough.
9/11
in their mind.
The genocide are all way too big to ignore, and Israel's hands are all over it in one form or another. The tides have overwhelmingly turned against Israel. The collapse of Zionist support on the right is probably the most important achievement, whether directly or indirectly, of October 7th. The Zionists...
Wow. An achievement of October 7th.
Can spread whatever lies they want about what happened on that fateful day.
Sorry, so Jimmy is now pro-October 7th because it served a purpose. Fucking yikes.
The reality is that it broke the narrative for good, and no amount of laws, money, or gaslighting can undo it. And it's only going to get worse for the Zionists.
You know what? This reminds me, I'm getting all...
Also... Are you bringing up Zionists about this stuff because Epstein's a Jew? Trump isn't, and they were buddies. Apparently, according to the interview that I saw, the Trump used to call Epstein a Jew bastard to his face, call him cheap, make fun of his nose, that kind of stuff. Yeah, just racist directly to him because he thought it was kind of funny to, this just banter.
Worked up over this, but it's like we said before, like, hey, thanks for showing everybody what it is, because no one would have listened to me if I told them, but these assholes showed everybody.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing that, dipshits.
You mean the IDF soldiers when they brag?
Thank you.
Oh, this is, by the way, the same mentality about Mike Pillow, where he's like, Thank God Trump lost the 2020 election because it revealed all the evil in our country. Anyways, I love how these guys are turning this into somehow like, and this is Tucker's thing, is turn the Israel hate on it, you know, and use that to pull in other people. So if you're disenfranchised with the Israeli government or Netanyahu or whatever, you can just lump this in and go, oh, this isn't Trump's fault. This is, you know, the Jews or the Israelis made this happen because he was an asset or an agent. Trump had no power in this. He was shot with a Jewish space laser from MK Ultra. He had no control over his fucking, you know, his actions. You know, he was just led around for a quarter century. It's his fucking fault. It's his fucking friend. Good Lord. Now, do I have time? Okay, one more in here. This is also the method that Alex Jones is going to take on as well.
Ladies, mix pink salt, lemon, and 2 fridge store ingredients and get ready to turn heads with your summer body. Today I'm here to...
Yes.
Imagine having the benefits of a keto diet, low carb, and intermittent
diarrhea.
fasting all together.
Well, here's Ben Shapiro attacking me with a script, reading a CNN fake article from 12 years ago. Itself fake, itself a lie, but he wouldn't even tell you the source because he knows you wouldn't believe CNN.
You cite CNN all the time.
Same guy says take the COVID shots, enjoy the lockdowns, never.
I think some people did. That was the problem.
Trumper. But now he and Mark Levin and the Israeli operatives, they're the real
Jews. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
MAGA, and any of us that actually got Trump elected or were there at the start, we're the people you can't trust.
Hey, first of all, fucko, who gives a shit what they're saying? They're actually asking you to line up with Trump, and he's not a Jew. He's not an Israeli operative. And if he is, then these guys are just fucking ornaments on that tree. If he's the primary, he makes the decisions. Who gives a shit what like media figures say about this when Donald Trump is telling them directly what to say? If they're following a script, it's from him, asshole.
Curious.
He has integrity. In fact, he's been called by some a prophet. Tucker Carlson literally called him a prophet on his program. So actually, this is a person whose own lawyer made the case in a custody hearing with his ex-wife that he was a performance artist. This wasn't even the Sandy Hook trial where he tried to make the same case.
By the way, that's also what Tucker Carlson said in one of his lawsuits, that when he was sued for lying, he said, oh, my show is just entertainment. It's not meant to be true. I mean, I guess it's a great job if you can get it.
His lawyers claim that this man of integrity is, in fact, a performance artist. Quote, he's playing a character and is nothing like his online persona, attorney Randall Wilhite reportedly insisted in a Texas courtroom at a pretrial hearing ahead of the right-wing radio jock's custody battle with ex-wife Kelly Jones.
Yeah, by the way, that's true. That was said in court. That's on the record. And that was their strategy. Who gives a shit if CNN quotes it or where you get the quote from? Is the quote real or not? If you have actually what he said was this, or it never shows up in there, here's the transcripts of that portion of it, and nothing like that was ever said, then show that. But you can't.
Jones, by his InfoWars performances, would be like judging Jack Nicholson by his depiction of the Joker on Batman. That's his own lawyer saying that. His own lawyer is saying that he was a performance artist.
Yeah, I think he's being nice. He's a bullshitter.
Hey, that's his wife was making the case that actually he's just unstable. Quote, he's not a stable person. He says he wants to break Alec Baldwin's neck. He wants J-Lo to get raped. His lawyer was like, no, he doesn't mean any of that. He's a performance artist. Okay, so those are your choices. So I'd just like to point out once again, at this point, you can watch whatever you want. It is a free country. You can watch Alex Jones. You can believe Alex.
No. There's some stuff you can't watch. Like some of the stuff that was allegedly in Epstein's files, for example. You can't watch that shit. It's illegal. You can't give it to other people to watch, which is why people should be going to jail.
Jones, you can think Alex Jones, you're entitled to any of those beliefs. That's fine. It's a free country. On a moral and intellectual level, it is not so fine. Because it turns out that people who consistently traffic in conspiracy, it turns out that people who consistently traffic in trash, people who spend your time, your few brief breaths on this planet, filling your mind with stupidity, playing a WWE character. Listen, if you want to watch Alex Jones in the same way that you watch WWE, because you know that the WWE is people who are fake jumping on each other and you find it dramatic and interesting.
Yeah, was he being the Joker or Tammy Faye Baker? I forget. I didn't watch this episode.
You know, more power to you.
I think it looks more Tammy Faye Baker to me, I gotta say.
But if you're watching WWE and you think it's real, that makes you the stupid person. Don't do it. Don't do it. Seriously.
Why would you put that makeup on if people are making the same analogy about Obama?
Seriously, it makes you dumber. It just makes you... in the end, you're responsible for the information that enters your brain and your independent judgment of that information. But if people are consistently being inauthentic...
Yeah, that's great, sir. We need to move... if you're not going to order anything, we need this table for customers. I mean, we took down the sign, 2 beverage for minimum for use of Wi-Fi, but the rule still applies. You've been coming here long enough to know that.
If people openly acknowledge that what they're saying to you publicly and what they say privately are 2 different things...
Jesus, he's playing a long fucking clip of Ben Shapiro shitting on him. He must really have to go to the bathroom.
On the same matters? Well, then maybe you ought to take what they say with a grain of salt rather than suggesting that, for example, Donald Trump is lying to you about Jeffrey Epstein, or Dan Bongino, with whom I am friends, is lying to you about Jeffrey Epstein, or
with whom I am friends. Ew.
Kash Patel, the head of the FBI, is lying to you about Jeffrey Epstein, because those are your only 2 choices here. Either Alex Jones, as is usual, blew...
I'm sorry, I was told by Megyn Kelly there's a gray area.
A conspiracy theory out of proportion, and so did the rest of the internet, or Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Donald Trump are all lying to you. Those are your...
Yeah, they are. They are lying. They're lying. Trump directly and Kash Patel and Bongholio by omission.
Choices. There is no third choice.
There's a lot of other choices. You're lying. You just...
Wow.
Spewed a bunch of lies as if they were facts. You didn't actually go to the court record. You took a CNN thing where my lawyer went, this is inadmissible. This clip of Jones playing the Joker. And when he does that, he's doing a parody, just like when I was a gay frog, which is less than 1% of what I do.
I don't know. I think you being a gay frog is far more than 1%. When is this Alex Jones clip from? This is from last night.
And actually, listeners love it. I love to have some fun, but I basically stopped doing it because in the...
Yes, because there's no time for fun right now. It's in general, it's a bad idea because this is a fun-free zone.
I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Points and dongs and vests and thongs. Woo, I love that feeling. Zipper hoods have got the goods. Owie, owie, oh. Boink, boink, dooby-doo. You know what I wanna do. Yay! Boink, boink, dooby-doo. You know what I wanna do. Buster.
So, yeah, no, there's just no room for fun anymore. I mean, my president left without any real major scandals and actually passed some real bills that helped human beings and made their lives better. So I could still laugh and have some fun. And as tough as things are, move towards a better world. You're stuck being a dipshit. So I can understand how you're just going to be a morose prick for a long time.
Media always takes it and says, that's really who I am. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Do. Hold on. This is playing does he play footage? What happens here?
So you heard this memo says there's no evidence. There's just people in prison that worked with him for human trafficking, but that didn't happen either. Nope, your FBI said it. Trump said it. So you're either with Trump and Bongino or you're with that crazy guy who admits he's fake, Alex Jones. When did I say I was fake? Oh, well, CNN said in the court filing. Didn't say that. But that's what...
This is so good, by the way. Can we just enjoy the fact that... Just own this for a second. Understand all this stuff everybody hears about how the right just pulls off this stuff and they're great with messaging and all that. Yeah, all that you hear, right? That's what you've been told. that somehow they're in control of all this and everything goes their way. And then listen to the argument this asshole is having to make with other right-wing commentators and Donald fucking Trump.
They do. An intelligence agency talking point. Here come the Israelis to the rescue. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The bugle, the cavalry. Here comes Ben Shapiro. Here he is.
We now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now, again, does this put to bed like all inquiries? Of course not. People can continue to speculate as much as they want, and I think there's still...
real quick, can I point out that this dickhead is citing Axios, which is, for all practical purposes, relatively new, but still what would be considered legacy media.
Open questions here regarding how did Epstein make his money?
Why does he sound so nasal? Because the internal shape of his sinuses and the lack of testicular dropping that occurs normally in, the hormonal pathway of a boy becoming a man?
That's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ and the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are telling you. They are I'm not telling you.
They're telling you this. It's not my fault.
They're telling you, people who are members of the Trump administration, people you elected and put into these positions to get you the truth on this matter, are telling you that he didn't, in fact, he was not murdered. He did not keep a client list. And he did not blackmail powerful figures.
Yeah, so shut the fuck up.
Okay, right, that is the thing that they are saying.
You heard that as Junos? You did? I would think it's just like boyhead. Right? This is what happens when you're boy-sized.
Not I. They are saying this. If you're willing to throw that over and claim they're lying, then I'd like to see you present your evidence.
Because I think my nose is actually bigger than his. I'd just like to say for the record, if that's a concern for people. Yeah. I mean, I like my nose, don't get me wrong, but yeah.
That they are, in fact, lying.
I like to think I have a Harrison Ford kind of nose. So there's a lot of similarities.
Because I know Dan. I don't think that Dan Bongino is lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
I know Kash Patel a little bit. I don't think Kash Patel is lying to me.
Stop right there. Back it up 5 seconds. What did Patel say on Rogan a few months ago? He goes, listen, Joe, you know me. You can trust me. If there was any evidence of any other victims, we'd tell you. If there was any video, we'd let you know. And Joe's like, well, Bondi says you've got 14 terabytes. Well, let's not talk about that. And you have all these court cases and people convicted and all this. And then
all these court cases and all these people convicted. You mean one? Again, Brunel was on his way to trial before he killed himself in Europe.
His court case, the second one in New York when he died, as Roger Stone says, released that. No, there's no evidence. Believe these people because they've done a 180 now.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's not an intelligence.
He's not an intelligence. Asset agent?
So.
Nope, just not an intelligence. I see.
That's what's happening here.
That's what's happening.
And out from under a rock comes Ben Shapiro with others to attack me. That clip's coming up. But that's all over the news. Alex Jones says there's a cover-up.
Well, you were crying on Twitter. And granted, you're a bullshit artist, so nobody should take that too seriously. But, it was kind of a switch from, the alleged, I think it's, oh my, how quickly they have fallen is really the story here. Because, when Trump got elected, you guys are like, this is it. We're finally going to do it. And then, like less than 6 months after he's inaugurated, you guys are fucking crying in your car on camera. But we're the snowflakes, sure.
And so there must not be one because, he's Alex Jones. He's a guy that admitted in court. He's an actor. Everything's fake. Really, where's the transcript? Where is it? Oh, his lawyer said it. Oh, CNN said that. No, they tried to enter in a custody battle, me doing a Joker thing about fluoride in the water. I'm the Joker. I'm putting poison in your water. It's good, kids. Drink it and die. My ex-wife wanted to say, look, he's crazy. My lawyer said that's inadmissible. That's obviously a parody. When Jack Nicholson plays the Joker, he's not really the Joker. By that extension, Jones admits he's a performance artist.
No, because Jack Nicholson doesn't actually believe that the Joker character and Batman are two sides of the same coin, and that they're this, they made each other, and that they're necessary, and that they're gonna, dance forever. As well, that would be the Dark Knight series. But I'm talking about, like, this asshole dressed up as the Joker to convey in a satirical way that he believes that fluoride is a mind control chemical. That's not the same thing as the Joker reading a script somebody else wrote, you dickhead.
And everything's fake. And yes, when I was in Scanner Darkly or Waking Life, that I was invited to be in by Rick Linkletter with Connor Reeves and others, I'm playing a part. When I'm up here, I'm showing you the clips, I'm showing you the articles. And he says, oh, there's no evidence. Really, Ghislaine Maxwell, the judge in her case, run by Comey, said, we're not going to gratuitously release the names of the people on the client list and suppress Ghislaine Maxwell's client list. Well, let's get that.
Yeah, let's get it.
She's in jail now. She's in prison. Let's release that. But again, Ben Shapiro, there's no evidence that he was in intelligence or anything, or he worked with anybody else. No, we just have...
Yeah, I will give you that. There is no evidence that Ben Shapiro has intelligence.
The U.S. attorney that ran the first case saying he was...
he can pretend, he can perform it. Kind of like how you perform giving a shit about any of these issues just to make money. Ben Shapiro can give the illusion of intelligence, I suppose, online.
Told go lied on him, he's an intelligence operative. And, he's got the head of Mossad at his house and the Israeli prime minister over and over again, but nothing's going on. The
infamous book is thought to contain the contact information of a variety of famous faces, including Prince Andrew. Ghislaine Maxwell's Little Black Book will not be made public. This is, when's the date on this? December of 2021.
Happening. No, Ben Shapiro said, we've never presented any evidence. No, Bongino and Patel haven't put on any evidence. All right, so finish up the first clip of Shapiro, then into his attack on me. And again, this is a standard thing I've seen for at least 15 years.
Yeah.
And this is all CIA, Mossad, Intel run that creates the PR firms, that creates the people.
I got to tell you guys, does it fucking hurt your ears to listen to his fucking voice the way it does mine? Like, it's just like that fucking grind. Like, it hurts my throat just listening to it. What the fuck?
PR stories on key political items.
The acid reflux is a serious thing.
They demonize me. They make me this bad person with the general public.
No, you were a monster towards the Sandy Hook families. Fuck you. Fuck you sideways all the way to Christmas. Asshole.
And then when the general public's questioning something, like atrazine in the water, gender bending, they just show me talking about it, go, look, he's crazy, so it's not real. And and that's the tactic. So he's following exact tactics, and he noticed that.
If the bottom of
Oh my God. And if you notice anything, it's fucking ads. All right, we're at the tail end of the show, so I feel like I should do an AMA now. Hal, don't pronounce the S in Ghislaine. I know they do Ghislaine or whatever. I often pronounce it that way to suppress wanting to call her Ghislaine because of her job. I honestly, most of the time, I would rather, I refer to her in not so pleasant company as Jizz Boulevard. So, fuck her. I don't care about, honestly, Guzzlewayne. I don't, I am aware in certain instances of the importance of pronunciation, but the selective way that people use it is one of the things as being a Libra that annoys me. And when it comes to people like Sean Combs, for example, I'm not going to call him Diddy or Puffy or P anything. His name is Sean Combs, and we should have his. Hold on. Yeah, Sean John Combs. That's his name. Sean John Combs. It's not Diddy or Puffy or P any fucking thing. His name is Sean John Combs. So I don't want to hear it. And when it comes to if it mattered, if there was a Ghislaine in Congress, even somebody I disagreed with, who was just kind of your average run-of-the-mill person, I would probably make an effort to pronounce it correctly. But yeah, Ghislaine sack smell will do just fine. That's right. Sean shit Combs, right. Sean on the John Combs. Dems have an official letter from Bondi to Kash Patel acknowledging she received 200 pages of Epstein contacts, flight logs, and victims' names and phone numbers. Excellent. Hold on one second. We'll grab onto that. Let's see. I'm trying to find the actual. I know they're asking for this. The letter calls for this AG in chief to admit rift between Trump and supporters over files in North section. Letter from 19 Democratic members on the committee to its Republican chair, Jim Jordan, comes amid a rift between Trump and Okay, the U.S. president known Epstein personally, right? In the letter, Democrats argue that the matter can only be settled if Bondi and her deputy, Todd Blanche, who was Trump's attorney, along with Patel and his deputy, Dan Bongino, appear before the Judiciary Committee. The Trump DOJ and FBI's handling of Jeffrey Epstein matter, sudden shifting positions, I don't see the actual article coming up. I don't know if that's a thing. If you want to pass it on to Andrea or whatever. I've been speaking to Coca-Cola about using real cane sugar and Coke in the United States, and they have agreed to do so. I'd like to thank all of those in authority at Coca-Cola. This will be a very good move by them. You'll see it's just better. This is Gavin Newsom's response to that tweet. Oh, thank God, I've totally forgotten about the Epstein files now. I mean, it is such a layup. How do you know the mysterious... let's see. Do you know the mysterious death of Ghislaine Jizz Boulevard's father, Robert Maxwell? I know the kind of broad steps, but hold on, let me see if I can bring it up. Yeah. Yeah, so the idea was that he died. I know he had a heart attack while he was swimming or something. Hold on. Strange and tragic death. This is the... Yeah. Robert Maxwell's strange and tragic death may have set his daughter Ghislaine on a path to Jeffrey Epstein. Sailing on board a 50-meter yacht named after his favorite daughter, as it cruised the Atlantic, Robert Maxwell had all the appearance of a man of good fortune. He was the domineering patriarch of a large family with a vast Italianate mansion overlooking the Oxford, famous friends, and a helicopter that could take him to London on a moment's notice. However, after waking from a fitful sleep on a cool November day in 91, Maxwell was alone and apparently too close to the edge of the boat. Back home, the empire he spent decades building was speedily unraveling, crippled by a mountain of debt the mogul was unable to pay. With the scandal only days away from being made public, the billionaire had flown to Gibraltar for a few days' rest aboard his yacht. He spent his holiday dining out. It seemed like a perfect break until staff went to rouse him from his bed and found his room empty. The official ruling on the inquest found he died by a heart attack combined with accidental drowning. Others suspect he jumped, a desperate final act to avoid the trouble that he was waiting for upon his return home. And then there's another conspiracy that, while others ruled out absurd, persists to this day. Maxwell was pushed. Those on board the Lady Ghislaine claimed they never saw Maxwell tumble off the boat. According to the police report, the last time the media mogul was seen alive was at 4:25 a.m. It's a weird time to be seen alive. Can I just say for the record, unless somebody was in bed with you, I guess, 4:25, and you got up from bed at 4:25 and then you looked at the clock. By late afternoon, his body was found naked and floating offshore by the Spanish Coast Guard. So he was walking naked on the boat, and he fell off the boat and had a heart attack. Is the theory? Is the excuse? I don't know. What are we going to talk about? His mysterious death set off a chain of events that culminated in the collapse of his newspaper empire, the bankruptcy of his children, and a wave of conspiracy theories that persist to this day. The poor Czech boy with a big dream. He was a big Czech boy. Here he is on radio in 1954, welcoming the boys home from overseas. Sketchy rich dude gets in over his head. It's always a great opportunity for people who want to get rid of him to dust him off, because you can make it look like a suicide if they're in a rough patch. Yeah. Was Robert Wagner on board? Yeah. And Christopher Walken. Coke says nah. Right. That they didn't do that? Right. I wouldn't doubt it. Is cocaine, it was in Coke, they substituted it with caffeine? Yes. And it, sort of. Yeah. No series of Maxwell father was a criminal. Yes, absolutely. Well, and the idea was that he was also a Mossad agent or a Mossad asset. Now, here's the problem with the whole agent versus asset thing, is that there's a huge difference. We learned this with the Jan 6ers, because all the talk about the Jan 6ers, they want to make it look like the people that were there that turned on other maggots and called the cops on people who attacked police officers and went, yeah, I was there with this guy Jerry and he lost his fucking shit and he's dangerous and he should go to jail. That person isn't just an informant who is an asset in this situation, but was working as an agent of the FBI the whole time, right? This is the language that Trump and all of his supporters use about this. That's why, and by the way, there are none. Never mind the Epstein files for a second. Has there been anybody that has been arrested for being, on Jan 6, some sort of maggot whisperer that made them attack? Has anybody lost their job for being an FBI agent in the crowd on Jan 6? For real. Not a fucking one. TikTok, motherfucker. Because apparently they're still in their job, right? What amazing shenanigans could they possibly get? You obviously know if they were there, you would know, because they had contacted, they had phoned in what they were doing. They were, and if they weren't, they were somebody who left their post and went rogue and attacked the Capitol. So obviously they shouldn't have a job either. Yes. Did you notice that though? And it was still Trump's FBI. Well, to some degree, but none of your rank and file FBI are going to be engaged in this kind of shit. But the point is that these guys were saying, these guys were FBI agents. There were FBI agents in the crowd, when in reality there were assets, because people who were there and enjoying it to some degree thought it went too far and freaked out. And went, oh my God, my buddy's beating a cop with a fucking sharpened flagpole. Holy shit. And that person is now an asset because they called the cops. They called the FBI on whoever they were with. Angela says, Trump allegedly asked Zelensky if he could hit Moscow with the weapon Zelensky has. Don't you think Trump would throw him under the bus if Zelensky hit Moscow, even though it might be accomplished what Trump secretly wants because he's miffed at Putin? Okay, so yes, he asked him if they could do that with the stuff that they have. They absolutely can. Trump doesn't know how the anti-aircraft missile systems, the Patriot batteries, works, and doesn't know that if they could be used defensively and offensively. So he was, instead of asking his own people, he was asking Zelensky, or if Zelensky thought he could, maybe he was 5D chess. Maybe he was, Francie Phillip is good. He just needs some sleep, but he was on the show with us this morning. I think he just asked him because it just occurred to him because he's fucking stupid. But I think he was worried. Maybe he was saying, hey, trying to get all right, this is my honest thought about it. If Trump asked Zelensky about whether he could hit Moscow, it was really him gauging in his own mind whether he thought that would actually happen. And so he could call Putin and go, I think they're going to hit you. Or he said, yes, they're going to hit you. Or they can hit you now. You better move or whatever. The batteries come with the Patriots, though. Thankfully, yes. 5D chess, what the rest of us call hopscotch. Yeah. Oh, you can't hit Moscow? Excuse me, I need to go. Call somebody about something else totally unrelated. Exactly. That's the point. Right. They already hit Moscow with drones. Yes, they've hit several sites, but they were from within the country, not from Ukraine, largely. Like the drones that struck places there were released by, Ukrainian and Russian resistance groups. How you get your shirts fit so well? I don't know that they do, but thank you, I guess. Sharks. What about the Sharks? 4K checkers, right? 8K checkers. You can see it well. It doesn't mean you play better. Houseworks meant to also say thank you and thank you. I think that if I'm reading that right. I fear if you take too much Viagra, you won't be leaving the house anytime soon. Well, at least for 4 hours before you have to go to the hospital. Fuck that. Attack Moscow every time they attack Kyiv. I mean, I agree. I mean, at some point, the question is if they hit the Kremlin, does that launch a nuclear strike automatically? Which is probably some leftover fear that they have from the Cold War, which may be a real thing. You know what I mean? There may be fail-safes. Balfourium G, right? I don't know if the kidney could. What the hell is going on? Help! What is it doing? What? What the? Where'd my camera go? Help! Help! What's going? It's got new powers. Help us! What does it learn to do while I was gone? What the hell?
The kidney has a very special place in the heart.
I guess so. That stung a little. I don't know what happened to me. I felt like I was transported. Yeah, I don't know where Matt the Rat is. He's dug in somewhere. Later, it was a kidney bomb. Ouch. Do you wear white socks with sandals? No, I don't wear sandals. Barefoot or shoes? Hal, you need a Phantom Zone? I kind of do. How's your dad doing? He's good. Thank you for asking, Coretta. He's good. That's AI for you, right? Why did Trump need to sign a fentanyl elimination EO if coming across the border with... Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't know why they weren't able to get rid of the fentanyl. That's the point. That's the thing I've been pointing out is that they stopped all the traffic, brought it to zero at the border, right? And still fentanyl is just as cheap and widely available as it was before that. Huh. And it ain't just stockpiles. Taste Paul showed a bulge in Trump's pants. It was truly horrifying. Oh, the catheter? Or has he got something else now? Because, I mean, I wouldn't rule it out. Hold on one second. There we go. What do you have against sandals? I'll wear flip-flops on a beach, but I'm not wearing sandals out in public. What if shit happens? We don't live in biblical times. Yeah. Have you seen Trump's elephant ankles? Oh yeah, see if I can show you a picture of that. Hold on. Trump, yeah, ew. So they've got, this is the thing that 4K has given us, and I apologize ahead of time. Oof. That's his hand. They got makeup on it to cover the bruise, obviously. This might be the insertion point where they're giving him a line. And then his cankles, which are really swollen, the seeping over the outsides of his shoes. Whoops, hold on, let me slide this up. Yeah. Not good. Not a good ad for Diet Coke either, which he has right here. Which again, I mean, I guess you must feel really secure if you just put your drink down. Leader of the free world, just gonna do that. That's great. Yeah. Ugh. Yeah, that's the This is the picture it's from. And this, I mean, I've never seen more loving body language. Why does it always look like she just found out about another affair? And his response was, "You signed the prenup. I can do whatever I want." What do you think is going to happen in the midterms? Oh, I think it's going to be a trouncing on the Republicans. And I think they know it. That's why they're trying to steal seats in Texas to add 5 seats to cover. Because they know it's going to be a wipeout. Ugh. It's the edema in ankles and hands, head, lips, and neck very pale, untanned sections, heart not pumping well, poor blood perfusion and oxygenation, looks like congestive heart failure. This is people putting up pictures of like the difference in color, in his real color. There's the hand thing, this weird lumpy section of skin popping out. That's skin right there. Bruh. I told you, that's why they're rushing this stuff. That's why they're having him hold up these things that he signed. Yeah. Meanwhile, here's Obama's ankles. Here's Obama's ankles. This is Biden's ankles. They look pretty fucking normal. And he's having ice cream, too. He can eat his dairy. Trump, meanwhile. And, oh, God, I apologize. Hold on. Where's this? We get the... yeah, in here. Where's the nut not coming up? It's why did my nut thing? My nut graphic didn't load. That's so sad. I apologize. Consider this a verbal nut warning. Other question. Do you think Trump will last the full term? If not, how will it be Epstein or his health? It'll be his health. For sure. And I do not, I know a lot of people fear JD Vance. I don't buy it. He is not the kind of guy who, wants people to, he just doesn't move MAGA. He just doesn't inspire them the same way. Nobody does, which is good. That's the problem with this kind of an organization. This is why Putin's going to have a hard time finding a successor. That's why, when guys like that go, the regime collapses. In our case, it won't, because we have another political party which has, equal weight in the country and can pick up where that left off. But yeah, Vance is just a weakling. There is no way, he's able to, garner the same, build a similar movement behind himself. It just won't happen. Sorry, somebody was asking about the COVID deaths. Question, hi, thanks. Well, you good source for your statements that China had more COVID deaths than generally acknowledged. Cheers. Yeah, there's a bunch. The most comprehensive breakdown I've seen was from Lay's Real Talk, but because she grabbed the Russian study and the Japanese study on how much salt they use and their electricity usage. My experience was, again, that 20 to 25 million cell phones went dead in less than a year, and people use their phones to pay for everything, so their accounts went with them. This is not, you lose your number, it's like losing your social security number. There, it's very different. How do you know Jesse James Keitel? No, I don't think so. You had those ankles when you were pregnant? I don't think Trump is pregnant. I certainly hope not. Do you think we will have a majority in the House before 2026? I think that would take a lot. It'll be hard. Nothing would surprise me, though. And I think the way Trump is turning on maggots, there might be some dropouts. And there are a couple people that if they decided to step down or move aside that are on the fringe or in the purple zones, they could absolutely make a difference because a Democrat could come in. Or a Republican that's looking beyond Trump, that's looking at maybe if it was a special election, they'd have to get reelected before he leaves office. That'd be tough. All those picks are great appetite suppressors. Oh, I totally know. He was on Queer as Folk, you think? I don't know that I had a scene with him, though. Let's see. It was a big cast. Oh, yeah. Beg your pardon. She, yes. Okay, I'm thinking of a totally different person. Let's see. That might have been... No. Okay. Jesse James Keitel was the trans woman who was on the reboot of Queer as Folk, the Peacock version. Yeah, not our show. I was on the OG Queer as Folk. For some reason, when you said Jesse James, I was thinking of whatever, like Dita Von Teese's ex. What do you think about Epstein's suicide note? I think it's... suicide note's too easy to fake. So I wouldn't have an opinion on it, whether it was real or not, because I wouldn't be able to tell the difference. She's in the new Star Trek. That's cool. You ought to be in pictures, kid. Yeah. Do you know how much a woodchuck could chuck, if a woodchuck could chuck wood? No, but it's similarly, how much would you... I'd say 3 chords. 3 chords. I'm going to go with 3 chords. Yeah. Do you think Musk will give money to Dems? Yes, I do. I do think he'll feed it in. I think he'll start donating, and it'll cause a lot of consternation. But I think what people will have to do is go, if this idiot is okay for, with spending this money, we're going to spend it to do what we want, and he isn't necessarily going to like it. Also, it'd be a way that he would rehab his own image, which I think is a lot. 2.5. Did you see Superman? I have not seen it yet. But Summer and Ethan saw it, and we're going to go, Cam and I are going to go see it this week, I think. 3 chords in the truth. That's right. The ankle problem is from fluid overload. His kidneys are not moving fluid, and his heart is slowing down. Yeah. Yeah, he's a fucking mess. And he doesn't sleep, and he flies all over the fucking place. So being in a plane a lot, this is one of the other things they don't tell you. Because as somebody who's flown a lot in my life, and I'm sure pilots and especially like flight attendants will tell you this, that going up and down in an aircraft and changing pressurization, that much can be rough on you. That's why you need rest in between and that kind of stuff. And a lot of these rich dudes who have their own plane tend to use them a lot. They tend to, go on long flights and, just to be impressive, or go because I got this plane, I'm paying for it. Might as well fly to the other side of the country and back in a day right? And he was always doing that. Now that he's president, he's got to do it for events and all these things. He's going to, it's going to add to the possibility of deep vein thrombosis on top of this, right? And there's stress, which he did not feel the first time because the dude is a fucking sociopath, so he does not care. I think the major is on right now, so I'm going to pitch to him, and I appreciate you guys, and thank you guys for sticking around for the AMA. I will continue to add these to the ends of shows as well. His body is an inconvenience. It's so spiritual of you. Some heart medicine can make your ankle swell, right? But he's not on any, so there you go. Love your rooftop cover of Kiss. Oh, thank you. Going blind, thank you. And Boston Brian is on. All right, well, you guys will have to pick. That's Sophie's choice. You guys are going to have to make that up. But I'm going to talk to you guys later. The nice thing is you don't have to watch us live. You can watch us later. And if you're watching me later, hi. Use the super thanks or use the Venmo thing to support the show. Buy me a cup of coffee and keep the show on the air. That'd be lovely. That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it? I mean, it might be. I'm just throwing that out there if it's a possibility. It's something, perhaps. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care of yourselves and take care of somebody else. I'm going to try and get some real sleep tonight. I know. It's crazy. It's a crazy notion. It's silly. It's absurd. But yet, I do think it's necessary. I hate it, but I need it.
I know it's a bit silly. Just a moment. Just a moment. Gee, I wish we had one of them doomsday machines. No. Just follow the money.
That's great psychology. Why don't you just say something bad about my mother?
Did IQs just drop sharply while I was away?
Professional assassination. It's the highest form of public service.
This man's obviously a lunatic. I'm calling security.
We're cakes for nothing!
I'm torn between feeling very sorry for you and finding you terribly attractive.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. All out of bubblegum. Take off, eh?
The golden rule. He who has the gold makes the rule.
To be a moron. To be moronical. An imbecile. Like the dumbest motherfucker that ever...
Something strange happened to me this morning. Was it a dream where you see yourself standing in sort of sun god robes on a pyramid with 1,000 naked women screaming and throwing little pickles at you? No. Why am I the only person that has that dream?
Looks like I picked the wrong week to quit amphetamines.
Listen, Betty, don't start off with your white zone shit again.
It's not Irish. It's not English.
Oh, yeah. Fair punishment contest for the horses, you know.
It's just, well, it's just piking.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
Just sit there and bleed a while before you taste some real pain.
I never realized how much my advice would hurt people until my advice hurt me.
He's a genius, eh?
You stay classy, San Diego.
I love lamb.
Why are you dressed like that?
The Illudium Q-36 explosive space modulator.
Oh, hello there!